Hi, guys. This is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. And I built this show for exactly the things that are going on right now. It it's a long story, but I'm going to try to make it kind of short because I want y'all guys to understand why I know what I'm talking about, why I am credible. Okay. You see, I started having interactions all the way back when I was 11 years old with these roundabout and bright white orbs that appeared in the sky. It didn't happen a lot when I was young, but it happened a number of times. But then as I got up in age, especially once I turned my work and stopped chasing the dollar and started telling the truth, seeking the truth, and telling the truth, what I had happen was I was out and I know some of you have heard some of this story stuff, but we've got some videos we're gonna look at of some of the things that are going on, some of the things that people are seeing, uh, and we're gonna discuss the different things and what they are. Some of it is man-made, quite a bit of it, and some of it is heavenly, interdimensional, angels, and potentially a few other related things like that. Like we've seen the chariot of fire that I called the chariot of fire during the eclipse that was filmed from at least two locations. And we've seen the black shadows flying through the heavens during the eclipse on April 8th. We've seen it get dark twice in places all over. I mean, I had hundreds of people confirm to me that it got dark twice during the eclipse. We've seen the comet coming down with all of the white orbs following it down and all around it coming down that are angels. Those are were heavenly beings. Whether they are good or bad, it's hard to say. But I want to kind of go cover with you here because I want y'all guys, especially the ones that are new, because believe it or not, I actually have some new people even though as shadow banned as I am. And the way you can help me defeat that is by sharing this video, sharing it any way you possibly can, or any of my videos that I do. Now, let's go back to about, uh, I'd say about 13 years ago. I was in New Mexico. I was traveling with a group of people in an RV. I was already a YouTuber, had been for several years, and I was doing truth videos. And we were in New Mexico. We were staying on top of you'd say a mountain, but they're not huge mountains in New Mexico, and they roll through the countryside down there. And the first night we got there, we were there for 2 weeks. The first night we got there, there was about 4 or 5 of us standing outside beside the RV. We were parked in a lady's yard that was kind enough to let us stay in her yard that the people I was with knew. And she had lived there for many years and had never seen, she'd seen some weird stuff, she said, but she had never seen these bright white and round all about. People choose to call them orbs because orb is a word that describes the shape. Okay. But the first night we were there were about 7 or so, give or take, that showed up all of a sudden, and everybody was like, "Look, look!" And we looked up, and they were the way we were parked, and at our table, they appeared over right where we could see them the easiest. And they appeared, they were stationary, there were multiples, and then one just disappeared, or not one or two disappeared. And then the last one, it struck off through the sky. And when it did, I noticed that it left a white streak, kind of like a smudge, as it went. And as it went, the smudge would start to disappear. I now know that they're like sparks. This is why Disney, with Tinkerbell and all her little sparks and flying around and stuff she does, that is a hint, is basically what that is. But I seen another time, but let me finish this first thing first. We were there for 14 days on top of the mountain. Almost every night, at least 12 out of the 14 nights. There might have been one or two nights we missed it for some reason, but every night we would walk out past the end of the camper so we could have a bigger panoramic view, which was a huge view. And every night they would appear right out in front of us, what appeared to be like right on top of the next row of mountains or hills. Okay, they would appear repeatedly every night, and they would do different things, but mainly they were appearing. Sometimes they would count off, like one would appear and it would start to fade, and then another one would appear and it would start to fade, and then another one, that kind of thing. And we've seen that for 2 weeks straight. And the last night we were there, one struck off again the last night. So the first night and the last night. And I did do something there. I think I've mentioned it before on the channel. But I went out there and you can think about what you want to think about this. I don't need to make anything up. Okay? It's just the truth is the truth. So I went out there one night. I can't remember which night it was. But I went out by myself, and I was standing away from everybody, and I didn't try to get them to come look because it was getting dark, and I knew the show would be happening soon. And I said, okay, if y'all guys are out there and you know and you can hear me or understand what I'm saying, and I was thinking this intently, kind of like in a prayer, and I verbalized it. And I said, when I point to the sky, I want y'all guys to show up. When I pointed at the sky, well, actually I did it with my right hand. I pointed at the sky, and bam, they started showing up. Boop, 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 boop. What can I say? It happened. You're here to hear the truth, aren't you? There's so many deceivers on YouTube. I'm not one of them. So that happened for 2 weeks. Left there, went from various places. Ended up living right close to the ocean. And many nights I would go out to the ocean. I like to go out there right after the sun sets. Mainly because I know that's when angels can show up. And they can show up anytime. But they're more common, at least for me, on mountaintops or by the water's edge, which is biblical. Okay, think about Moses. Think about the book of Daniel, the angels appearing over the water. So I'd go, this was in the Myrtle Beach area in South Carolina. I'd go out to the beach, and sometimes I would take people with me and say, let's go see the angels. And we would go, and there they were. They would appear. After we'd be there for a little while, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, they would appear. And here's some keys I want to give you. I want to give you some ways to know what you're looking at, what it truly is, okay? And not be deceived, because we're being deceived in the heavens right now by Starlink, okay? Because stars are angels. Sorry if you don't know that yet. And those stars are not planets that you can go walk around on, or planets are not planets where you can go walk around on. That's all nonsense, NASA stuff that you were trained since you were a child. All right. So I would go out there, and here's some of the things you need to know about them. Okay, if they're an angel, whether they're good or bad, dark or bright. Now, and I want to talk about that too in a minute, about would an angel of light that was a good angel still be bright white, or would he be something else? Would he be dark? Would he be of a different color, maybe a flame? Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. But let me tell you some of the things you need to look for when you're wondering if what you're seeing in the sky is an angel. Okay, if you're seeing something in the sky that's coming way from the distance, like the horizon, and it's coming towards you in the sky, and as it gets closer, you can tell that it's very high up. As it comes, it'll get dimmer, and then it'll get bright, and then that get dimmer, and then it'll just disappear. And when it's approaching, you can tell it's on a slight arc, not a big curve, a slight arc. The way Starlink satellites move through the skies is they have to move on a slight arc. Okay? If you see them coming across the horizon, and you see them getting bright and then dimmer and then real bright, and they're moving in a slight arc, that's Starlink. They're fooling us. I had been seeing here recently on my front porch right there, I had been sitting out every night, and I have seen angels here, but I started seeing something that's coming from the horizon, and it's not blinking. There's no blinking lights. It's just a bright white light that'll get intensely bright sometimes. And as it's coming towards you, if you're seeing that kind of a thing with that arc, I believe that is Starlink. They've got them. They've got 33,000 of them. Imagine that, 1/3. How many? We know Elon, he likes to play the beast, play the dragon. He dressed up as a dragon 2 years ago for Halloween. He's got his dragon capsule. He's got his Starlink. He's into this stuff. And there's deception, yes, in Elon, the billionaire. Okay. If you're not here for truth, you don't have to stay. You know, you didn't pay anything to get here. So, but if you're here for truth, I'm trying to give it to you. So Starlink, they've got lights on those Starlink satellites, and they're lighting up, and they're making themselves visible, but they're moving on an arc, and they don't stop. If you're seeing something stationary in the sky, that's something else. If you're seeing something continuous moving on a slight turn, that's Starlink, and they're doing it every night. I'm seeing them every night out here. Now, let's talk about what an angel's attributes are, as I have witnessed myself many times since I was a child. But since I was on the mountaintops in New Mexico, it's been 75, 80 occasions, well close to 200 different points of light or angels. And I'm very thankful for this, because when I was seeing all these Starlink satellites that are lighting up, coming across, it fooled me for a moment. For a few days, I was thinking that it might be angels, because it looks like them, but it does not behave like them, other than lighting up and disappearing. That's the only thing I've seen so far when it comes to their attributes. But a real angel, whether good or bad, what I've seen them do is I've seen them many times standing at the beach. They'll just appear out of nowhere, and they'll be close, and they'll be right down at the ground, or at the water rather, right down above the water, They'll be within 100 yards of you. Sometimes they'll be 50 yards of you, just over the edge of the water. Normally they'll come down and set over the edge of the water. Sometimes they'll show themselves and they'll only be there 1 or 2 seconds and then they're gone. If you want to have a clue if they're there wherever you're at and you're trying to look and witness some, watch out for sparks in the sky. You don't look at any one point with your vision. You use your overall vision to kind of watch the whole sky. And if you see sparks kind of flashing, flicker, there's a good chance they're there, because angels are not omnipresent, meaning they're not everywhere at once. This angel has what he's doing. This angel has what he's doing. Whatever God, Father in heaven, has them doing. Now, here's some other attributes of what I have witnessed angels do. I was standing at the beach another night, and I've seen as many as 8 or 10 show up together, sometimes in a line. One will come on, and it'll start to fade, then another one appears beside it. It'll start to fade, then another one appears beside it, and so on and so on. Okay. Sometimes they don't keep that straight pattern. Sometimes they'll just be more random, but a lot of times they'll have geometric patterns that they're in. Sometimes they can streak off, and when they do, they will leave a streak of light in the sky. You'll see that. My advice would be is, if it's not real close to you, like surprisingly close, you have to assume it could be something else until it gets pretty close and it's doing some of these attributes I'm telling you, and I have more to tell you. I've been standing on the beach looking up, looking for angels, and they'll appear in the sky above, and then they will flash. It'll light up the ground like it's daylight. No sound, but for about a half a second, everything's daylight. Everything. They can light up everything. There is a video of this taking place that happened in Jerusalem, close to the Temple Mount area. He came down, he sat there, he flashed. Matter of fact, it's in the intro for the Supernatural Show, 4 different angles of it. And it's on my documentary that I released yesterday, that is a documentary I did 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Because Father's had me on this path a long time to do what I'm doing now, which is to educate you of the truth and the attributes of angels and what they really look like, so that you may not be deceived in the days that are coming. So let's talk about more attributes. Flashing in the sky, counting off, appearing, disappearing, close to you. They're not cruising across the sky on a slight arc. If they are, that's probably Starlink. And I'm not talking about a little pin of light like we could see sometimes when Starlinks were launched and they'd be in that straight line. I'm talking about that they're lighting up. They've got larger light capability on those Starlink satellites, and it gets real bright, similar to an angel. They're trying to imitate angels. So another attribute, I was standing on the beach, looking up, looking around, and I happened to be kind of looking up, and one flew from behind me over my head about 20, 25, maybe 30 feet at the most above my head. And it was moving. And it shot straight out across the ocean, below level. And as it shot out in the distance, it disappeared. But as it went across me, I was looking up, it went across, pixie dust was floating down. Except for it was sparks. So the white smudge they leave looks like sparks to the human eye, to my eyes, It looked like sparks floating down when it shot across me and I was looking up at it. So there you have another attribute that you know the truth about. Another attribute. I was standing in the exact same spot a different night at the beach looking for angels. One appeared straight out over the water in front of me. It was only there about a second, maybe two, and it started to fade. And right when it started to fade, an electrical arc connected with the ocean. I don't call it a lightning bolt necessarily because there was no sound. There was no sound. But I seen the arc clap, slap the ocean, or either it came from the ocean to the angel. I'm not sure which, but it arced and you could see it. So there's a high electrical component using the best language we have to use here when it comes to them because of the sparks they use. All right. Another attribute. They can show up anywhere. It does not have to be over the water. It does not have to be over the mountaintops. It's just that for, I think, electrical reasons, they tend to like the water and they tend to like the mountaintops and also tops of very tall buildings. Okay? No sound. There's got to be sound. Everybody be blowing up everything. Test, test. Yep, there's sound. Test, test. Switch to my other mic just to make sure. But if you're not hearing any sound, check your sound there, my friend. Robbie, check that. All right. Hey, Robbie, everybody else has got sound, buddy. All right. So continuing on. Now, try to think. I may think of some more attributes that I've seen them do myself. One of the biggest factors I would tell you is that if it's way off, don't count it as what you would call an angel. It's too easy to fool you from a distance. They'll get close. In my documentary, there's footage in there of angels from all over the world doing all kinds of things. As a matter of fact, I could give you some attributes based on those videos and the things that they do. Like I said, they create a spark before they appear. When they cross the veil into our reality, our perception, where our eyes can see them, they will spark right ahead of that, just like it is when an ovum is entered by a sperm. When a female egg is fertilized, it sparks because something crossed the veil. Now, if you think about all these attributes, let me share my screen here. But first, before I share my screen, I've got some videos and things I want to show you and talk about that is important, so don't go nowhere now. And it's all related to what we're talking about. I want to prove some things to you and show you some things. Looking at had 160 votes. Wow, very good job, guys. What do you think the white orbs are that are being seen worldwide? Aliens, 16%. Demons, 19%. Angelic beings, 46%. Oh, back to, well, now it's 46 again. And then 20%, I have no opinion. All right. If they're aliens, I've been having aliens in my presence in an unbelievable, normal Now, if you spend any time reading biblical texts, or you spend any time reading historical accounts and other literature, and looking at paintings, it all points to these bright white and round all about. Those, I think that comes out of the book of Enoch. Bright white and round all about is what they look like. Ezekiel said they look like a wheel within a wheel. And I've seen them. I've seen where the energy is rotating in on itself. I would say that what they exist in is a toroidal field. A toroidal energy field is what their essence exists in, because, well, there's many, many reasons. Demons, yes, there are demons out there. I do not believe these are demons. Is there a chance I could be wrong? Sure. Do most people think I'm wrong? No. And I've been doing this for a long time. And I've had many witnesses with me. One of them is sitting right here, Miss Kim. She's, I've taken you to the beach before and said, let's go look at the angels, haven't I?
Yep.
Say it where they can hear you.
Yes.
Hopefully you can hear her. She's watching the comments and stuff like that for me, helping me out. All right. So now let's, and for those of you that have no opinion, go watch my documentary that's on the channel. It's got about, 12 or 13,000 views since I posted it yesterday evening. Yes, I posted it before, but there are times when it needs to be reposted, like right now, because this is a big subject, because of everything that's being seen all over everywhere, all kind of things going on, and we're going to look into those things right now. Okay, so let's take a look at, this. Let's take a look at this, and let's look at a few things. I'm not sure what order I've got these in for sure. Okay. Yes, I do. All right. Wizard of Oz. Some of you have heard me say this before, show this before. A lot of you have not. Sorry for the ad. That's YouTube for you. All right. So here we have Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. They put a lot of truth in this video, and I'm going to show you one of those truths. I'm not going to play too much of it because of copyright issues. However, here you have Dorothy in Wonderland, or Oz, excuse me, right? You see the orb back here behind her? Watch what happens. You see? It's floating in. Dorothy's turning around, and where is it at? It's coming in off of what looks like a mountaintop, isn't it? You see? This is what a lot of people have been seeing. And they put it in the Wizard of Oz, right in front of our faces, because they know what these are. They know what they are, but they're also trying to imitate them with Starlink, and they've got man-made crafts that they are going to call these man-made crafts alien crafts, and something has to be done about them. So therefore, they're going to put on a show for us. The show's already started, and we've all got a free ticket. So what is the orb coming? Are y'all guys seeing this? What is the orb coming in the Wizard of Oz? The orbs, they're being seen everywhere around right now. People are seeing them. Some of them are Starlink. If you see it coming from a distance and it's way high up and it's arcing slightly coming towards you, and it gets kind of dim and then real bright, and as it gets close above you and it's like you can tell it's way up there, that's Starlink, and they're trying to deceive you. In this case, what is this? You see this? They showed you a truth right here in this, and I'm explaining it to you and showing you. When you see these orbs, not the Starlink ones and not the man-made deceptions with all these other crafts. All these other crafts, anything with a flashing light, first off, a repeated flashing light is going to be man-made. All the drones up in New Jersey, all the things they're talking about, the pilots are seeing. Pilots don't talk about this stuff, but now all of a sudden we got pilots talking about them, putting out videos. Why? I guess they're not afraid of losing their job. You got Congress talking about this stuff. Immaculate Constellation. What is a constellation? It's a group of stars. It's a group of angels that hold their place in heaven and have a particular frequency job that they do. It has to do with this creation that we are in. So what does this orb turn into? Well, let's see what the orb turns into. And no, I've never had one come this close like this as it's depicted and turn into a good witch. But what they're showing you is clear. You see, she's got a star in her hand. She's got a staff with a star on it. She has a crown with stars on it. You see that? It's all symbolism. But they showed you the orbs, what they are. No, they're not good witches or bad witches. They're angelic beings of different types, of which I can't say I understand all of them. Not even close. But this is the truth for you. Look at her dress. It's got stars all over it. What are they saying symbolically? They're saying she's a star, an angel. And this is how they travel, in a ball of light. I hope you're picking up this truth. I hope you're picking up this truth, because it is that indeed. All right, let's look at something else. In the movies, and some of you have heard me talk about this before, but in the movies, they love to depict and show us things without telling us what they're showing us. You understand what I'm saying? So this scene, of course, is from Terminator. And we're going to look at the symbolism and similarities along with the attributes of what they're showing us here. They're showing it as if it's a time traveler. That's the context in the video. And yeah, angels are maybe time travelers, you might say, because where they exist in the heavens, there is no time. A day is like 1,000 years. 1,000 years is like a day. We think, how could the stars be angels? All they do is sit in one spot. No, they actually move continuously. And there is no time in the heavens. So let's see what happens here. And I have to keep pausing it a little bit. And you should understand why. Copyright. So there's a little bit of a breeze and there's some flashes. Oh, look, we've got electrical arcs. Remember what we were talking about, how angels have electrical attributes? Like I seen the one at the beach and the lightning came out of it and struck the ocean. My Father in heaven, as my witness, I've seen it. I know I was being shown it so that I could stand here and testify in Father's name the truth. All this electricity, right? Tons of electricity. And again, they have a spark when they come across the veil. They are electrical, for a lack of better words. Plasmatic. I used to use the word plasmatic or plasmians. They're just energy. We're energy. We're water and energy. So Terminator should be here in a moment. Let's see if I might need to move it a little bit. No, let's just keep playing. And here he's arrived, right? In this particular scene, they didn't show the white orb. But in the next one, I'm going to show you in a minute, they do. And of course, here's Arnold. The electricity still flying. And what is he? He's in the image of man, but he has supernatural characteristics, doesn't he? He has powers. And of course, the plot itself is twisted in the movie. It's not going to tell you all truth or anything like that. But they do show quite a bit of truth there. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, because I believe this next one is one of the ones where they show all of the Terminator movies showed this stuff. Right? Can I get this to pause? Okay. Let's move forward here. To about here when the electricity starts flying. This is another arrival. This is Terminator 2. The last one, I think, was Terminator 1. Now we get to see the bright white round all about orb with all this powerful energy and just cuts a section out of the truck. I've never seen angels do anything so far as like that, like change anything other than they can change the light. They can probably do a lot of things I haven't seen, obviously. It's all based on what they're supposed to be doing, unless they're fallen, and then that's another story, right? So there's our Wizard of Oz orb again. Same thing that they're showing people all over the world right now, and they're telling you it's aliens. Let me say this again. It's not aliens. There's no such thing. You may disagree, and that's okay. But what I'm telling you is I have personal experience many times with this. So here is our Wizard of Oz orb, where the Good Witch of the North came in, floated in with Dorothy, right? We just looked at that just a few minutes ago, and appeared, and it was an angelic being with stars all over her dresses, carrying a staff with a star on it. They're telling you. They're just not telling you. It's all about symbolism. What rules the world? Symbolism rules the world. It does. That's why they use it so heavily in showing you right in front of your face truth, like you have right here, mixed with lies and deception. So there we go. We have our Terminator arriving again, right? And yeah, this whole storyline does tie in because they want us to think that there's aliens coming, or maybe somebody coming back from the future, back from the future or back to the future. They want to deceive us, and I don't have their complete script. I just know what they're doing. I know what I've seen, and I'm testifying to it. So there you have, once again, your depiction of an angel arriving and manifesting on Earth. But of course, it's not an angel. It's just depicting some of the attributes of what an angel is. Here's another one. Let the ad get through here. Let's see, what is this? Okay, this was in Jerusalem. Let's see. I wanted to see this other one first. This was from the movie called Transformers. And if y'all guys know of any movies out there that depict this stuff, I want you to tell me about it. Okay? I want you to text me about it. I want you to text me and send me a link to it. And I'm going to give you the phone number. I want you to text me at that number right there. I want you to tell me what movies have, just like the Wizard of Oz depicts the witch coming in the orb and landing, or Terminator is coming down and landing. Okay? I want to know what y'all guys know, and I'll bring it back into another show maybe, okay? So let's look here and see what we got. Okay. So here we have their version of what Earth looks like, which is a deception as well. But no, I'm not saying the Earth is flat. It's much more complicated than that. I've done videos talking about it, and I'll do another. But right now, you can see what they're depicting. Something coming down, shooting out of the heavens, falling from the heavens like lightning, right? Coming down. Let me move the scene forward a little bit so I don't have to deal with so much copyright stuff. So here come the Decepticons. Deception, con. We all know what these words mean, right? But they're showing them falling out of the heavens like streaks of fire, like meteors or comets or shooting stars, right? And falling to the earth. And when they get down to the earth, let's see what they do. Well, that's certainly a different type of arrival, isn't it? A little bit different than Terminator, of course. But it has the same flavors, doesn't it? All right. So now, let's look at, see, is this the one I'm looking for? I'll know in a second. Jerusalem, a number of years ago, there was an event. No, this isn't that, but I'll go ahead and show you this real quick.
Last night over Oahu caught the attention of many people. Howard Deshefsky joins us this morning. Howard,
this was a few years back.
That's the question. What was it? What did people see? We did receive a lot of reports via our reported feature on our website. A lot of viewers wondering what those lights were over West Oahu. Check out this video from one of our viewers, Matt.
So this was in Hawaii, and what you're looking at, these are angels. I didn't see them with my own eyes, but with the best judgment I have, I would say if I seen this, I would say this is angels.
Chatai. He said he woke up at about 2:30 this morning, get a drink of water.
And they can definitely they mostly look white, but they can also look kind of amberish. I've seen purple heliotrope in them, which is why heliotrope is associated with deity, with royalty, because they know that the angels depict purple. I've seen it with my own eyes many times, actually.
And this is what he saw in the sky. Certainly caught his eye. He took the video from Kaka'ako and thinks the lights were over Central or West Oahu. Hard to tell from his vantage point. As you can see the two.
You see that one, there's two, and then there goes three. It's very, very common with angels. And there will be a spark right before the one appears. I don't know if we can see that in this one or not. I'm trying to back it up. I think they cut the video there a little in a kind of a bad spot. Yeah, they cut the video. But there'll be a spark.
Hard to tell from his
and then it
vantage point.
appears like
You
that.
can see the two bright.
I've seen it hundreds of times. Okay. So that is a good example of just one thing they do, which is show up and just sit there and watch. This is one of the reasons they're called watchers, because they do that kind of behavior. All right. Let's see here. In Jerusalem, this one you can't see as well. I think I have another video of this too. But as you can see in the center of the screen, there's like a light. Okay. And Jerusalem is down below it. The Rock of the Dome, Temple Mount area is right here. And it descended down. Okay, here's the 4 different views. I want you to look at the one particularly on the right-hand side, over on the right. That one you can literally almost see an angelic shape like with wings. Now, these were 4 different people who seen the light sitting up there. They started recording it, and it came down, sat there for a moment, and then it flashed, which I've seen with my own eyes about 5 different times. 5 different nights, flashing, and they light up everything, just like happens in this video.
Holy shit.
Look at the one on the right.
You can almost hardly look at them. We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like
So, from all of my best judgment, even though I wasn't there, so I can't say for 100% anything, I can say for 100% on all the times I've seen these things in person, myself, my eyes, hand to heaven, and those are the things that happened. And I've seen it many, many times. This is a short, someone recording and caught them, and I have seen them do this. When they move slowly, they look like a flame. Sometimes, not all the time. Right here to the left, me and Miss Kim were sitting on the porch one night when we first moved in this house, just over a year ago. We were sitting in, she was the first one to notice they were streaming up like this, coming up from the bottom and head going up. And they looked like, almost like a candle wick, but it was upside down. The smaller part of the flame was lower. And they were raising like that, one right behind the other, like 5, 6, 7 of them. And it's similar to this.
oh, hell no. That's crazy.
See how it kind of looks like a
Flares?
flame?
No, they're...
It's not flares. See, you'll notice that we've seen this during the eclipse. It was filmed. An object, I called it a chariot of fire, okay, because it is a deity, an angel, that was photographed flying around looking like a flame, just like this video we just watched. I think I even have that. Let me see if I have that right here or not. Yeah, take a look at this. This was during the eclipse. So, chariot of fire, it's something an angel can look like. The book of Isaiah, I think it was, talked about them appearing on the hillside, looking like chariots of fire. That's what they look like. You've witnessed now, even though it was on video, and some of you have seen this with your own eyes. But that's what it is. They're angels. They're not aliens, guys. They're not aliens. That's deception. They've made likely 1,000 alien movies trying to train us that there's such a thing as aliens. It's all lies because they want us to believe it, because they're going to deceive us. They're going to deceive us. They're going to deceive the masses, but we will not be fooled. My brothers and sisters that are watching this right now will not be fooled. You will know, and you'll be able to tell the people around you. They'll run, they'll freak out, they'll be scared, and you'll be standing strong because you know the truth. This is why I want to empower you, give you this knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is strength. All right, so let's look at the next video here. Y'all guys remember, and this is all, it's all related. I'm not going to show this too much, but I know y'all guys remember the balloons, the white orb-shaped balloons that they were flying all around, saying it was China spying. What they're doing, guys, is they're trying to create chaos in the minds of people to not be able to understand what all is going on. Who's this? Is it China doing this? Is it where are these drones at over New Jersey? Is it China? Is it aliens? They want chaos in the minds, because out of chaos they get what? Order. Their order. If they can confuse and deceive you, you'll make bad decisions. You'll ask for their help. Somebody needs to do something. Boom, boom, boom. That's what the masses will do. But you will not, because you will not be deceived. All right. A few photos and maybe a couple other videos to show you here. Most of you probably heard about Manchester, New Jersey, I think it was. New Hampshire, New Jersey. And this was a pilot supposedly taking these photos out of his wet windshield in an airplane. And yeah, it does look like that. But pilots don't want to lose their jobs. And you may say, well, Daniel, Congress is asking for them to say something now. Yes, they are. Because they want people to demand a solution. Do something, Mr. President. Do something. We're scared. We don't know what's happening. We are all in danger. The aliens are going to eat us. It's foolishness. Foolishness. There's no such thing. If they could, we would have been eaten a long time ago. But we're still here. And yeah, I know there's stories of this and that and the other. But I can speak with what I've seen with my own eyes and testify to it with my hand on a Bible, my right hand to the heavens, whatever, the most valuable promise is, in order to let you know, that we're being deceived. Okay. This thing supposedly was flying around, come down and landed. This might be a little short video clip. It's a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of everything for basically nothing. If this is even a real photo, that would be a man-made object. It's not alien. Man has technology that they've not told you about. Do you think that's possible? That the governments of the world and the scientists of the world and the manufacturers of the world, like DARPA, do you think they've made anything that they haven't told us about, and they may one day try to use it to deceive us? Or do you think they've been totally open and honest and truthful and righteous? No, they have not. They're liars, they're cheats, they're deceivers, they're scum. However, we should try to pray for them, but I'm trying to make a point. Okay? So you can see right above the little play button here, there's a little black dot. Can't really see it that well here. I don't believe I can make it any bigger, really. I'll play it real quick. I mean, this is the best footage we could get, of course, right? And the pilot released it, right? There's a lot of deceivers working with a lot of deceivers, okay? Do you think any of the pilots that fly the commercial airlines around the world might be Freemasons? Some of them might be high enough up that they might be used to deceive the public. I mean, this could be all AI. You can use AI right now to create any image or video you want. And that's part of the plan, to create the chaos that they're going to need to get their new order, new world order. They need to create so much chaos that nobody knows what nothing is. Everything is completely confusing. Nothing makes sense. Our president is crazy, stumbling around, all falling off the stage, and we're the most powerful nation in the world, and he got the most votes ever in history. Really? I got an investment for you if you believe all this isn't a setup. The world is a stage, and all these people that are on the big television, and a lot of them on the news, and a ton of them on YouTube and other platforms, they're deceivers. They'll do their hands in that pyramid shape repeatedly when they do their videos. They'll slip it in there. Sometimes they'll do it like this. Let me show you. Sometimes they do this thing, of course, right? They put the fingers together and make the pyramid. I'm not going to do it. Other times they'll do this. They'll interlace their fingers and they'll put their thumbs up like that. Okay? Making the pyramid with their thumbs. If they're under deep cover, that's what they'll do. Now, how do you know this, Daniel? Because I know. I'm an observer. I'm a watcher. I pay attention to everything. You get me? Everything. Yeah, I can miss some things. I can be wrong. But I ain't wrong about the things I'm talking to you about today. Especially their hand things and what they do. They do it all the time. It's their way of getting over on you, like I'm telling you right here with my hands what I am. All right. Let's see what we got next. Yeah, y'all guys are here with me in the comments. Let's check on our poll real quick, and I've got some more things to show you. If y'all guys are watching this and you're not subscribed, don't you think you should hit the button? All right, so we got 25%, 455 votes, and we got 25% of you still think these things are aliens. Are you kidding me? You watch too much television. Did you watch this video from the beginning? This show? Why do you think they've made 1,000 alien movies? They haven't made 1,000 movies showing us what angels really look like, have they? They could. The closest they get to it is Wizard of Oz. You see? They had the Witch of the North come in an orb, turning different colors, including white. Comes in, right? Turns purple, and then poof, you got a deity with stars all over her. Stars on her hat, stars on her shoulders, stars on her shirt, stars on her dress, stars on her staff. Look, I'm not interested in disagreeing in a way as to create hostility or like that I'm mad at you. I'm just afraid for you. Because if you think the things I'm talking about are aliens, the white orbs, you're already deceived. You're already deceived. What are you doing here watching this show? Now, I'm not mad at you. I'm trying to free your mind. You've been presented a lie and accepted it. 25% aliens, 18% demons, 32% angelic beings, 24% I have no opinion. What do you mean no opinion? Really? I mean, I put that in there for y'all guys that would say that, but really, no opinion. Even now, you can go back and change your vote. All right. Let's keep going here. Now, this is a weird one. This is a that's kind of interesting. Hang on here. I just noticed something about this video that was a little surprising to me. I'm trying to find the right spot here. Where's this thing? Okay, must be coming up right up here. Right about here, I think. Yeah. So there's the bird flying by. And I wanted to look at this It's this is in Russia. It was filmed in Russia, and it's a black orb, and it's not visible to the naked eye. I cannot say that this is a real video. I cannot give it any credibility other than the fact the guy, his story was he said he went to a crash site of a military aircraft after they had claimed they had cleaned it up and they left. He went there and found a few pieces of small broken glass, and when he puts them in front of the camera lens, he can see things and film things that otherwise you can never see. Now, is that the truth? I don't know. I find the video interesting, and it's tied into this whole orb thing, because he's been doing videos for a couple of years, or at least a year and a half since he found this glass. And he doesn't make a video every day. He makes one like once a month at the most. So if you were trying to deceive and make money on YouTube, you wouldn't do once a month. Okay, you'd be doing a lot of stuff, getting real creative with what you're filming. And he's seen some very interesting things, but I'm looking at this one today because of this object, a black carbon-like orb that is cruising through the frame as he's driving down the road with the glass. He's in the passenger seat and they're driving along. He's got his camera up and he's got a piece of glass that he says he found. Again, I cannot testify for this footage, but I do find it interesting. And it's pretty clean, clear footage, that's for sure. And his channel, if you want to check it out, I will drop the link to it in the chat. It's called Space RU is the name of the channel. Space RU, the letter R and the letter U. Let me throw it in the chat real quick, the link to it. So there's some other interesting videos. I cannot swear, and I'm not going to stand here and say this video is real. That's not what this show is about. This show is about telling you things for sure that I know is truth. That the white orbs that we're seeing all over the televisions, all over YouTube, Twitter, everything, they're making out and hinting at they're aliens, or maybe it's China, or maybe it's Russia, but we think it's aliens. It's a deception. It's lies. Go back to the beginning of this video if you haven't seen it. You need to see all the proof and all the information and all the knowledge that I have that I've laid out here for you. Okay? Oh, and thank you, Crystal Fire, for a super sticker. You just made my day. Thank you very much. Corey says debunked. I don't know what you're talking about, Corey. What's debunked? And if you're referring to angels being bright, white, and round all about, unfortunately, I would have to disagree with you on that one. I know what it is. I've seen them many times. I don't know why I was chosen to be able to see them. Then later on in life, I come and create a channel to try to put out the truth. Started out as the Idaho Picker, turned into Logic Before Authority, and now I still have Logic Before Authority, but I was pushed to tackle this supernatural topic. And we're seeing all this stuff in the heavens, drones all over New Jersey, all kind of craziness going on. People seeing orbs at the airports, following airplanes, anything you can think of. On top of that, every night I go outside, sit out there. After I've been outside and it gets good and dark, here comes the Starlink satellites cruising over with a bright as angels get, light on them, fading in and out, and then just vanishing, turns off the lights. Coming in at an arc. If it's coming in at an arc towards you, and as it gets close to you, you can tell it's very high up, you're being deceived. That's Starlink. Star, the word star is for angels. If you look up Numerous places in the Bible and Scripture. My last show, I showed you, what was it? Revelations 9:11, 9:1. One of those two right in there. It tells you right straight up that angels are stars. That stars are angels. You say, well, Daniel, you're basing that just off a book called the Bible. Trust me, I know. I get it, okay? But I also know what I know. Put the book aside. What does Daniel know? I know they're angels. That's what I know. I see you guys are making tons of comments and tons of viewers. I greatly appreciate all of you being here. Please subscribe. Let's see what else I got here. I want to show you, and I got a few other images. If you got any crazy people, you know what to do. But just if they're disagreeing, it's okay.
Tell this here, we know Starlink is not angels.
Huh?
We know Starlink is not no angel.
Yeah. Of course, Starlink is not angels. What I'm telling you, and some of you already understand this, I'll say it one more time. I'm saying what Starlink is doing. We all know when they launched Starlink, we would see the dots in the sky, the lights. And they were real close in a straight line. Starlink, all the satellites, they move in an arc pattern all around the world, right? They move in an arc. And I'm saying if you see a light coming from the far off in the horizon, and it's coming along and it gets real bright, and maybe it'll just vanish. Sometimes they'll come above you, and it's real bright, but you can tell it's way up there. I'm telling you that they're using Starlink to fool you. And some of you just ain't going to get it. And that's just the way it is. I'm also telling you, if you go back to the beginning of the video, exactly what angels are, what their attributes are, what I've seen, what I know for fact with my own eyes. But some of you, your mind is so brainwashed because of the tele-vision. You ever thought about that word? Tele-vision and programming. It's mind control. It's massaging your mind to give you what to believe. Some of you guys trip me out sometimes, I'll tell you. All right, let's keep moving. Let's see. This is just another video. The guy that I was talking about.
What don't?
Are you Space RU, excuse me. And he's filmed at a number of different locations, these black looking orbs floating in the sky that he can only see with this piece of glass. I'm not sure what these things are. This video may be completely fake. I'm not saying these are angels. I just find it very interesting that he's putting out videos showing black orbs floating above tall buildings, floating other places, and they're invisible, supposedly. Again, I'm not giving this video any credit. So I just find it interesting because all of this stuff going on with all of these drones, all of these white orbs people are seeing everywhere, all of these other kinds of crafts in the sky, people thinking there's UFOs everywhere. I'm trying in this video, and if you're just getting here, you need to go back to the beginning and watch from the beginning. You need the knowledge that I laid out in the beginning and the middle of the video in order for any of this to be worth anything. If you're coming in anytime in the last 10 minutes or even 20 or 30 minutes and you haven't seen the beginning, you're wasting your time. Go back to the beginning. All right. Yeah, that's how TV works on you. That is absolutely correct, Snowball. All right, I'm looking at some of the comments here, just trying to, matter of fact, let me put the comments up where you guys can see them. Isn't that interesting? We've got 578, 79, 580 votes. And half of you think they're aliens, and half of you think they're angels. Now, isn't that a perfect division? And the ones that think they're aliens, you're being deceived. You're being deceived. You got a wise man standing here talking to you. And I was literally trying, sometimes hopelessly trying to help some of you guys. How do you even know anything about an alien? Because the television showed you. You've seen it in the movies, in the comic books, on your video games. That's the only way you have any clue what an alien is. And you think something that's called a UFO means alien. It don't. It means it's unidentified, and it's flying, and it's an object. All right, let's look at some comments here. Let me close the poll, not close it, but minimize it. The comments you're seeing are coming off of my Logic Before Authority channel. Let's see here. Y'all guys that think these are aliens, you're going to go down there and you're going to get needles put in your arms. Because you believe the television. You believe something that was designed for entertainment. Supposedly, right? But it's not. It's a mind-controlled device, your television. With cell phones, the same thing. You have to have discernment. Thank you, Miss B. Somebody else making my day today. Thank you, Miss B. And thank you, Crystal Fire, again as well. I appreciate it. I've been doing this 15 years. Nothing but YouTube. And yeah, I've expanded over time and got on some other platforms. We're live on 8 platforms right now. 2 Facebook channels, 2 YouTube channels, Instagram, Kick.com, DLive, and Rumble, all at the same time. And this is all I do for 15 years. Most of the time, it's made me homeless. That's the price. No, dang, you're getting rich if you're on YouTube. I hate to give you the bad news. It don't work that way. Please turn on closed captioning. I don't think I can do that from here. I don't think I can do that. If I could, I would. I don't have an option to be able to turn it on for you, darling, or sir. I'm not sure which. I'm not saying that to be weird or anything. All right, so let's look at the comments here. I'm actually interested in what y'all guys have got to say. If you said something really important, you want me to see it, now's the time to say it again. And hopefully you're watching. Well, I can see all your comments where I'm looking at the moment, no matter what channel you're on. All right. Alien equals a lion. That is correct. UB. A lion. It's one of the ways they tell you what the truth is by putting it right in your face, knowing you'll never see it. And when you do see it, like somebody points it out like that, you'll say, ha, ha, ha. He's an idiot. And you're the one sitting there an idiot. And we're trying to help you, and you're like, I don't like you. And we're trying to save your freaking lives. Save your minds. Save your souls. Here's an idiot. He thinks that stars are angels. He thinks that orbs are angels. Lordy. All right, looking at some more comments here. Light sparkle fell out and landed on your sweater. But that's an interesting story. Roma Simona, guys, if you've got experiences that you've had with orbs, angels, anything supernatural, okay, I want to hear from you. You can text it into me. There's a number. You can text me. And either I or Miss Kim will respond. And you can be a guest on the show if you want to, or you can just write in. You can text me all the details to that number about your experience, or you can go on the website, which is called TheSupernatural.Show, and submit your complete story. Look through the menu, and there's a place on there where you can submit the story. Don't have to be a member of the website just to submit truth. And I don't care how wild the story sounds, as long as it's true. Okay? So there's your number where you can text me, 843-284-3343. And just a couple of house cleaning things. There's memberships available on this channel if you would like additional content and recognition, you might say. Okay, and some other things you have to check into it. Again, the name of the website is TheSupernatural.Show. Okay, and look at the comments again. I can see more comments than what y'all guys are seeing on screen. So if you don't see yours on there, I probably can see it. All right, looking. Looking at your comments. Yeah, there's just, whether you call it military drones, whatever it is, there's a lot of stuff they've got. I'm sure, matter of fact, I'm absolutely positive, because I've seen one. They've got a craft that's as large as a football field. It's the shape of a triangle. What's their favorite design? Look on your dollar bill. Is there a pyramid on there? What do they do with their hands? When they put them together, like you see all the time, politicians and actors and comedians and all of them doing on soap operas and Pfizer commercials and everything else. They'll do that stuff with their hands, put pyramid or tip of a spear, you might call it. And I did see another time at the beach. I went down there. I was looking for angels, and I had to learn a little lesson. I seen a stationary bright white light sitting out over the water, and I had a laser, and I got some bright ideas. It was a pretty powerful laser. It has a reach of like over 5 miles. Green laser, and I shined it at that white light, and I got a reaction out of it. It started moving, but what it did is it flew towards me, and let me show you what it looked like. It flew right over me, and this is what it looked like. No, this isn't my photo. This is a photo out of a video of them saying drones up in New Jersey. Let me make sure y'all guys can see that. Okay. This is in the videos of saying flying around up in the Northeast. They're seeing these, and they're claiming they don't know who they are, and they've got the FBI investigating. Really? They know exactly what these things are. They've got flashing lights all over them. They're pretty good size, it appears. And that's exactly what I seen fly over me. And this thing was solid. I shined a light out towards it. It was way out there. And it come in, and it flew over me. And it was a triangle-shaped craft about the size of a fighter jet. And it was in the shape of a triangle. It come right over me and was lit up just like this thing. Don't be fooled. Don't be a sheep. Don't let them get away with what they're trying to do, at least in your life. That's been my goal all along. Never had any interest in being famous or getting people to know me. For over a decade, I never even showed my face. All y'all guys heard was my voice. Why? Because I have no interest in being famous. I've got some messages coming in here from y'all guys. I want to see if it might be interesting videos coming in from y'all guys. From that number I gave you. Yeah, I've got two messages got one from Jason B. And let's see here. Okay, Jason. Jason says, thank you. I love your channel and follow along and agree with everything you say truthfully. And I'm not expecting anybody to agree with everything I'm saying. I'm saying, this is my experience. This is my testimony. I believe that I'm telling you the truth. It's based on decades of gaining knowledge and paying attention and observing carefully in this world. Got another message here. This one's coming from an area code 606694. And of course, I'm not going to say the last part of your phone number. I am going to pop this video open. Oh, got another message from a Tim and Sarah. This is a short. This isn't from Tim and Sarah. This is from that phone number I gave you part of just a minute ago. And this is a daylight visible object. Someone, I'm assuming you probably filmed this. Maybe. Oops, let me make sure y'all guys can see. No, you can't see. You will be able to in a second. Okay, there we go. All right, let's try that again. Title of the video is UFO, and all that means is unidentified, it's flying, and it's an object. Let's see what it looks like. I know this is a short. I don't like shorts because of this reason. You can't see good. It's hard to say what that is. Now, I've got it on like a 50-inch screen up here in front of me. But I do appreciate the video. Let me look at the other one that y'all guys sent. I think this was a different one. See how this can work? Y'all guys can send stuff into me. Don't know what this is, but I'll share it with y'all guys. It says, can someone tell me what the heck we caught on camera? All right, let's take a peek. Well, looks like you got a spider maybe in your viewfinder there for one thing. But you might be talking about what's out there in the distance. Let's look a little bit more. Honestly, I think that's just an artifact. There's nothing clear at all there. You can't tell anything. Could be wrong, but it looks like an artifact on the camera or something hanging up in front of the camera, something like that. I'll play it for another moment or two. Yeah, not clear enough to really tell there. I sure appreciate the message, though. Thank you very much. There's one more here, and then I'll look at Tim and Sarah's. All right, let's bring this one up. We'll take a look. Every night around 3 a.m. the past few weeks. This was posted back in April 2023. Now, this has the orientation of a triangle. This would be, if this is what I think it might be, this is a man-made craft that's about the size of a football field. It's completely silent. It can hover just above the trees, and it's as big as a football field. Although it also just kind of looks like it could be, and again, but this ain't my video, so I can't vouch for it. You know, it has some of the characteristics kind of like angels do sometimes. But who knows, right? But I do appreciate the videos, so keep them coming. You never know. So let's take a look at the message from Tim and Sarah. Oh, that was from Tim and Sarah. Raceland, Kentucky. Nice. Well, guys, I greatly appreciate those videos. And like I said, I'll give you the number here again, because I want to hear from y'all guys. This is how this is supposed to work. You can send me something. I put it on the show. I'll give you my opinion. And if I for sure know about something, I'll tell you. And if I'm not sure, just like that, because it's a short, it's hard to say what that is. You know, really what's going on there. I don't know what happened to my chat window over here. Let me see if I can fix it real quick, so I can have y'all guys on here with me. All right. I don't know what happened. But I'll be able to pull it back up here in a second. All right. Here we go. Pull it back up. Pop the chat out. Make it full screen. Then I have to magnify it so everybody can see what's being said. Yeah, that's big enough. So we're still at 29% think the bright white round all about objects are aliens. Also 29% think they're angels. I'm on the angel side because I know. How do you know, Daniel? Go back to the beginning of the video. Watch from there. 25% no opinion, 17% demons. Demons, there could be some things that we see in the heavens that are demons. But all my research tells me, and all my experience tells me, white, bright, round, all about angels. Looks like we got some more messages coming in. Like I said, guys, y'all guys can text me. You can hear my computer going off. I'm getting your messages instantly. You can text me at that number right there, and you can send me links. You can send me an experience that happened to you. You can send me whatever you want to send. Okay, all right, we got a bad language warning on one of the messages. Let's see here. Tim and Sarah sent me another photo. I'm not sure what that is. Tim and Sarah, that's pretty weird looking. looks like a disturbance, like an energetic disturbance. I'll show you guys. Hang on. If I can, yeah. Looks like some kind of energetic disturbance, basically, in the sky. Took a picture of the sky. Looks like Tim and Sarah maybe took this photo, and you zoomed in on it and screenshotted it and circled it. Yeah, that's weird looking. If I'd have seen that person, I wouldn't know what to think. And they just sent this one in as well. Well, now how am I supposed to know or have any clue what that is? That's not fair, Tim and Sarah, because I have no clue what that is. It's highly pixelated and blue and white. But I do appreciate you sending them, especially that one. That was cool. And let's see. Had another text come in here. Bad language warning. So we might go with no audio on this. Yep. Okay, let me share this one. Appreciate y'all guys interacting with me live, sending things in. It says 2 UFOs, Austin, Texas, July 1st, 2021. Okay. Well, bad language, so I'm going to turn off the audio, okay? We'll just see what the video has to offer. When you understand what I understand about your voice and your words, you find yourself not very interested in curse words. And you know why they call them curse words? Take a guess. Because your voice is supernatural. Yeah, that's a pretty cool video. Looks to me like an angel setting off in the sky is what that looks like. Like I said, I've seen it hundreds of times. Miss Kim sitting here has seen it many times as well. Not hundreds, but many. Oh, y'all guys can't even see that one. I'm sorry, guys. Let me back that up a little bit so you can see that again. Sorry about that. This is from area code 321333, and then I'll leave the last 4 off. But just so you know, I got your message and it's playing. So yeah, that looks like to me, I can't vouch for the video because I didn't record it. But it looks like to me an angel setting off in the distance. But because it's video and it's on the internet, you cannot take anything for absolute. You cannot. All right. All right. Let me take one more look at my messages here. Make sure I got everybody. I do indeed. All right. And let's take another look in the comments and see what we got going. We got a huge, absolutely huge audience today. And I appreciate every one of you being here. And I hope you will subscribe, because this is a no BS channel. And I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to inform you, tell you the truth the best I possibly can and have the ability to do. I am a wise person. I'm not saying I'm smart for any ego reasons. And it's not as much smart. It's just I have learned. That's the only reason I know anything. It's because I have learned a lot. They are angels and the government knows it. Yeah, Kyle, that's exactly right. They know exactly what it is. I mean, they put it in the Wizard of Oz. I'm not saying the government's the Wizard of Oz, but it's another feather of the same bird, just like NASA is. I mean, Disney and NASA, they literally right down the street from each other. And there's a reason for that. Thank you, Kyle, for your comment there. Yeah, the government's doing a lot of things, but I can tell you what they didn't do. Fly over my head 15, 20 feet above my head and leave sparks floating down around me. They didn't come out and land on the water right in front of me, about 50 feet in front of me, and appear and then start to fade and throw a lightning bolt into the ocean. They didn't do that. Those were all supernatural happenings where Father chose, for whatever reason, to use me as a vessel to bring truth to people. He wanted me to know what their attributes were, what angels' attributes were, what they can do in certain situations, what they look like, how they behave, their attributes. So that way I could testify to y'all guys when these days come. And we're here. We're there. When it comes to the true deception that's beginning in the heavens, we're there. It says, hi, my name is Mike. Can I believe you 100%? Question mark. I had a near-death experiences, and I've seen what's on the other side, and yes, they are angels 100%, and some others are not. But you can see the... Is there another comment by Michelle? Don't see a comment following up with that, Michelle. So you kind of left us hanging. It's okay. Here's an interesting one. Said Robert said, I do believe there will be Nephilim that seek redemption. This will be the test of this. This will be the test of our faith to love thy enemy. Test of our faith to love our enemy. Father doesn't say love them necessarily. He says pray for them. You have to keep your enemy at a distance sometimes, but you have to observe them. But you should understand that they are deceived and they are trapped. And that's why we should pray for them. All right, let's see here. Andy Bose says he just came back from the mothership. I believe you. If you believe that, then you were on a mothership, all right. And it's probably filled with smoke. Let's see. Snowball says, out of the corner of my eye, I've seen streaks of light like a bug drone was watching and then took off when I was looking this way. They don't need to sneak up on you with bug drones, okay? You got a spy in your pocket that tells them everything you do. You know, cell phone? Yeah. Let's see. Yep. So guys, please, if you haven't so far, please subscribe. And if you're new here, I'm glad to have you, okay? I always simply try to bring you the closest thing to the possible truth that I can logically discern and research and dig into everything in depth. The ones that y'all guys have been around for a while, you know that I don't play. I love you guys. And again, I appreciate Crystal Fire, Miss B, and all my supporters that are out there that help me out from time to time. I do greatly appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I love you. If you haven't seen this video from the beginning, I highly encourage you to go back to the beginning, okay? There's a lot of information up front that's important that you hear and see. You do not want to be deceived, and I can help you from being deceived on some of this stuff, okay? You're deceived, you'll fall into the hands of them, okay? I love you. I love you guys. Save my number that I gave you in your cell phone, and then anytime you run across something other that you think I need to see, you don't have my number saved. Just save it as Supernatural Show or Daniel Alexander Cannon, whatever you want to do. Save that number, okay? The next show is going to be probably, unless something changes, it's going to be a call-in show. And you'll be able to call that number. I've got it all fixed now where I can make the live show work, where you can call in live and I can talk to you. And you'll be live on the show. So I'll be doing that real soon. With that being said, I love you. Father in heaven loves you. Make sure to go sometime in a private place where no one else can hear you and talk to him. Believe it or not, he's there. I love you. Bye for now.